What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Baitshop, Banter podcast. We're going on to episode 10 now.
Nice.
So we made it to 10. I'm Captain Phil.
Captain Bob.
Welcome to the show, guys. We're going to talk about some different stuff today. The last couple weeks we had little incidents come up that allowed us, or that kept us from being here. But we did film a show last week on the water talking about kingfish.
It was good.
We had a lot of fun.
We didn't get any kingfish, but we did get a bunch of Spanny Max.
And a few sharks.
Yeah. We got a couple little black tips. I think you got one, I got one.
Yep. And we had one swimming in the prop wash the whole time, which was cool.
Right next to the boat. I probably could have reached down and grabbed them.
We could have gaffed that one.
No, we could have grabbed them by hand.
Yeah, just grab them.
It was that close.
But unfortunately, we had some problems with that video. So we're going to try to post it here in a little bit. Maybe a couple more days when I get a day off here, I'll take care of it. And I don't have all kinds of other problems going on, like I have a double tomorrow and my truck issues and all the other fun stuff in life. So
your truck's going real good.
Yeah, it's going real good. It needs $17,000 worth of work. Good thing it's under warranty. So we're going to talk about kind of what's biting right now. We'll talk about some live bait versus artificial stuff. And we're going to talk about the business side of charter fishing a little bit. I think we're going to kind of just, poke the horse a little bit on that one and see what we talk about. It'll be interesting.
All right.
So what's biting right now offshore?
Offshore, as we get the water starting to cool down, we're getting down into like the mid to low 70s on the water. So our hogfish bite is starting to heat up. We're starting to see a lot more Spanish mackerel, and starting to see some kingfish starting to flurry in. I haven't seen like a really big push of kingfish, and I don't think anybody else really has either. We're getting a few here and there.
One or two, yeah.
Usually after the full moon in this next week or so, we usually see a really good push of them. Mm-hmm. So hopefully that pops off for us. And this northwest wind is definitely going to help. It's going to push all that bait inland.
And it's going to push some of that cold air in, which we're getting tomorrow, and I think that's really going to fire them up. Yeah. I actually was driving here today. It was like 70 degrees. I'm like, I should have brought a sweatshirt for on the ride home.
So that's what we got going on as far as that goes. Obviously, the grunts are always biting. They're always easy to catch and always make good tacos and stuff like that. So if you want to come down and do a half day, that's pretty much what we're doing. Or trolling for Spanish mackerel. We're doing a combination of live bait or trolling hardware, as we call it, which is planer boards with big leaders and nice spoons about anywhere from 2 to 3 inches.
Okay. And we'll talk about those spoons here in just a minute.
Yeah.
So we don't need to dig into that quite yet. Are you starting to get are you seeing any red grouper moving in a little closer?
Yeah, actually, I got a keeper yesterday. We got a keeper.
On your 6 hour?
Yeah, in 50 foot.
Okay, 50 foot.
So, yeah,
nice.
we weren't that deep. Was surprised. We dropped a live thread fin to the bottom.
It got slammed?
It was on the bottom for like 3 seconds. And I was like, hey, you turn the handle. He's like, what? He said, oh. I was like, yeah, they're already on it. And I didn't anticipate catching a red grouper where I was at.
Yeah.
So we were pulling up hogfish almost every drop.
That's cool.
Not big ones, half inch, 1 inch short or something like that. But
yeah.
I also had FWC on the boat. We did a bunch of tagging. We tagged 11 hogfish. And in the morning, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but we were trolling for the Spanish and the Kings. There's probably 60 dolphins.
So I've not seen this, no.
Okay. So I was like, I was talking to another captain. I found the bait. I was like, I see fish blowing up, half a mile away. So I pick up and run over there, and it wasn't fish. It was 60 plus dolphins.
Were they eating or just swimming?
Gorging themselves on white baits, threadfin. Wow. I saw one with a Spanish mackerel in his face. I was so mad. I couldn't get a Spanish mackerel to bite or a kingfish to bite, and neither could the other captain.
And the dolphin's like, hey, what's up, man?
We're like, yeah, we're going to go bottom fishing.
Yeah.
So we ended up coming back in the afternoon. Still no love, but my buddy Kevin, he ended up getting looked like a mid 15 to 20 pound fish on a plug.
Oh, cool.
So at least I know one was caught yesterday.
Yeah. I didn't go out, obviously, because my truck broke down, so.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be out tomorrow in the wind and the cold weather. I'm going to have to dig out some cold weather gear. I may even have to wear long johns tomorrow.
Really?
I'm a wimp. A big time wimp.
It's okay, I'm not going to lie to you. There'll be people for tomorrow. I'm probably wearing my sweatshirts.
There you go. Yeah, they'll be like, it's nice outside.
Yep, I know.
From up north.
The mom yesterday, she was wearing 2 pairs of sweatpants, a pair of leggings, 2 sweatshirts, and a long sleeve shirt underneath everything. She was still cold.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that works.
So.
Inshore bite, I was out a few days ago with one of my buddies. We were just fun fishing. We found a whole ton of snook off the beach. Of course, it's before this cold front pushed through. I'm sure those fish moved inshore. I don't think they're going to still be out there. I think that was probably the last push because we're starting to see, and we also fished the jetties, and the water clarity was nothing short of incredible on the jetties. I mean, we were seeing grains of sand on the bottom and 8 feet of water.
That's good.
It was good, but we also saw a ton of snook. And I mean, schools of 20, 30 snook all up and down the jetty. They wouldn't eat what we were throwing. We weren't throwing live bait. We were throwing some artificial lures the other day just because it's what we like to do. And it was cool to see them. So, but when you start when you get into this time of year, it's like October, end of October, those snook all on the beach, out in the Gulf, they're coming back in.
Yeah, they're post-spawn.
Yep, they're post-spawn, they're all spawned out. It's time for them to come in and prepare for winter. So they'll feed for a little bit here for the next month or so, and then they're gonna go up and stay super shallow, find some muddy bottoms, some docks to hang out in.
And just lay there.
And just lay there and be lazy until it warms up
Yeah,
again.
I got a couple spots up in town that we fish in the middle of the night, and you could just stare at the logs, and
Yeah.
they won't even touch anything you put out.
They're like, that's cute.
Yep.
Keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the snook are moving back in, I think. I mean, not I think, I know. The redfish bite's kind of hit and miss. There's sometimes you get really, really good bites, and then other times it's a little hit and miss. I think after this cold front, though, I think we'll have a really good bite. I'm hoping tomorrow, the next day, it'll be good. And then trout fishing should pick up substantially here soon. I fished for trout this week, and we were catching a bunch of smaller trout. I think we only got 1 or 2 like good-sized keeper trout and 1 overslot that had to go back. Real big one, like 24, 25.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. And so that bite's been picking up. I've been catching some bluefish lately too, which is always interesting.
Bluefish are fun. They're just tackle busters, the
Yep.
little yellow-eyed demons, as we used to call them.
Yep.
What's your biggest bluefish?
Oh, you didn't go there. Now this, okay.
Is that here now we're talking
Here,
about? Okay,
here.
okay.
I'm gonna have to show you a picture of it.
Okay.
So I'll like set you up to talk here, and
No,
then I'll
that's
have to
fine.
find the picture.
I'll
Because you're gonna be
tell
like,
you-
no.
I'll tell you,
you're not gonna
my
believe me.
personal biggest bluefish is 18 pounds.
So how many inches would that be for us Florida people?
Over 40.
Over 40, yeah.
It was big. I mean, the head on him was that
Massive,
wide. I
yeah.
was like 13. It was as big as I was.
Yeah.
So we caught that on bait, which is really weird because we don't normally catch them on bait. Usually you're throwing whatever you can at them.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the red grouper of
They'll
the
eat
surface.
anything. They really will.
They really will.
But they like moving.
My
They like
biggest
something
bluefish
moving.
here
Yeah.
is 12.5 pounds.
Oh, so you got a stud.
Yeah, I caught it on a ballyhoo.
A ballyhoo. Were you trolling it? Was it a,
We were trolling
a
for
skirt?
kings.
You were trolling for kings?
Yeah, yeah.
And a big blue came up, huh?
Yep. Yeah, as soon as I came up, I was like, oh, it's a bluefish. Everybody's like, a what? It's
So we
like,
never weighed the one that I got, but it was a 39-inch bluefish.
That's probably
which
15,
is-
16 pounds.
Which for here
That's
is
big.
like, I mean, we caught it at the jetty, like
That's crazy.
on the North Jetty. For you local Clearwater people, it's like where you find snook. So we were snook fishing, and this fish bites and takes off, and I'm like, oh, dude, we got a massive snook on because a freaking 40-inch
take
bluefish.
off, dude.
And then
They
I was
got
like,
the tail of a kingfish. So
Yeah.
I mean, they will take off.
it's a real
really
deep split.
fast.
Anything that's got a deep split in a tail is a very, very fast fish. This fish took off. I was like, oh, okay, we got a nice snook on. And the guy brings it up. I go, that's not a snook. What is that doing here? That fish is lost, man.
Yeah, I mean, we used to get them in, like, I'm talking
Picture of
droves.
it.
I mean, we would get like a week straight of all 15 to 18
Really?
pound bluefish.
See, that would just be fun.
And you can just stand on a marsh bank, like growing up where I grew up. You'd stand on the marsh bank and you'd sit there and you'd just throw a big plug out.
Yeah.
And you'd have 20 or 30 of them blowing up on it and doing
See,
everything they could to
that
get
stuff's
to 'em.
fun. I would love to do that with like a 10-weight fly rod and a little bit of wire leader to not lose every fly you
Yep.
throw at them. But that would be so much fun.
We would get them so thick up there that I would literally take a 4-inch piece of wire, a 12-aught J-hook, and do the best to throw it 10 feet and just twitch it on the surface. And they would come up and obliterate it. It was
Yeah.
so cool.
Or take like a plug and just take the hooks off of it and let them just chow
We
down.
used to use butter knives.
Yeah.
My dad still has a
butter
bunch.
knives?
Yeah, you take
That's
a butter
cool.
knife, drill a hole in it, put a big split ring on it or a piece of cable.
That's cool. I still want to
pretty
find this
cool.
fish. Now I'm like, I feel like I don't need to find it, but I'm kind of like invested enough that I really want to find this fish in here.
Well, while you keep looking,
Yeah.
if you're gonna go out for fun, you said you like to use artificial, right?
Yeah, so let's talk about artificial versus live bait. We can definitely jump into that. If I'm going out for myself, and it would have to be with a really good friend that has low expectations. No, I know it's terrible, but like I think you understand what I mean. It has to be
I
somebody.
agree.
So like when I go out fishing, I like looking at fish. I like to just, I would be on the front or the top of the boat, not really fishing a whole lot, but like
Looking for 'em.
We found them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think finding it sometimes is cooler than catching it.
Oh yeah, that's like the other morning. I was up there catching bait up there at the bridge.
Yeah.
And you could see the tarpon. I could
Yeah.
reach down and touch the tarpon.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, because usually they run away.
Yeah.
But they're literally just swimming right in front of my trolling motor.
Just back and forth.
Just chilling.
It's funny when they don't care.
Nope.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of throwing artificial when I'm by myself. I'm going to give up because I'm not paying attention enough, and that's not okay. My wife will yell at me. I'm a huge fan of artificial. My go-to artificial has always been a Miradine, the MR17. I am always one looking just for a reaction strike. I'm not out there trying to catch the biggest fish. I just want that explosion. And so when I cast out my MR17, I'd work it pretty fast. And it's only to get that one.
One good slam.
Yep, and that makes my day complete. And most of the time, that's a smaller snook that's gonna hit it, or a decent size aggressive or small trout or something like that. And it's okay, but if I want to take the next step and I want to go for that bigger fish, I did catch that nice snook on the beach the other day in artificial. That was on a DOA shrimp. I think for a finesse presentation in salt water, I find it very, very, very difficult to beat a DOA shrimp.
For here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for here.
See, so like for me growing up, like all we ever used was a white bucktail, 1 to 2 ounce, and an Uncle Josh's pork rind. We catch everything.
Yeah.
Stripers, bluefish, sea bass when they were up on the jetties, you'd catch them. People don't believe me, but you do catch them. And flounder.
Yeah.
All day long.
On the pork rind.
All day long on a pork rind.
I totally hear you. And then the other day I was on my buddy Rob's boat and he brought out those Nomad.
The little vortexes?
Yeah, the Vortex, Vibratum, whatever in the hell they're called things. And I was like, oh, this is my thought process. That's a neat lure. I can't compete with my Miradine, you know? And I was like, let me see one of those things. So I cast it out and I'm like working it. And it's like when you bass fish and you're using a rattle trap.
It's
and
exactly
you
the same
feel
feel.
that. It's the same thing. It's the same feel. And you know when you're throwing a rattle trap that the lure's working. You know that the bait doesn't have a weed on it, that it doesn't have grass on it, that it's running true, and you can feel it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the feeling that I got with that lure, and which is why I loved it so much, because you cast it out, and we're working the jetty a little bit, and all of a sudden you get a seaweed on, you knew exactly
Yep,
when
it
you had
stops
seaweed on.
vibrating.
There's no the vibration's gone,
Yeah.
doesn't change. So I was personally very impressed with that lure.
Yeah, I mean, so when I worked on the overnight boats, we had one guy who was strictly, that's all he used.
Yeah,
He would drop those, or he would drop big jigs, you know, giant jigs.
yeah.
And he's like, look, guys, like, why don't you guys try it? So we're all mates. We all switched between one rod, the three of us. We caught in one night a lane snapper, a mangrove snapper, a red snapper, a gag grouper, a red grouper, a beeliner, a scamp, and there was one, and a toro.
Yeah, you had like an offshore slam kind of day,
We had like
basically, a
9
bottom
species
slam.
on one little vortex bait
Yeah.
in a 12-hour span.
And I'll just show you the bait real quick to the camera, just like kind of what we're talking about, because I do like them and I think they're pretty cool. Let me just look this way real quick. That thing right there, it's by Nomad. It has a soft back to it. There we go. We focus on it.
There's 3 different sizes, I think.
Yeah, they have a bunch of different sizes. And actually, one of the things that Rob and I were learning about these baits is that sometimes the eyelet is here, and there's
sometimes
actually one that's
up on the nose.
up a little bit.
Yep.
And I don't remember which one it was, but there was one that ran great and one that wasn't so
So
good.
this one runs okay
Yeah.
if you're jigging.
Yeah, no.
That's the one for if you're retrieving.
So the
because
one that has the
it offsets
eyelet
the
forward.
weight in it.
Yep.
Where instead of like on like a rattle trap, you ever notice when you're using an old style rattle trap, the eye is more towards the front.
Yep.
Because it keeps it front weighted as you're pulling it, so it can vibrate.
Yep.
But when you're jigging, going
It's
up and
going
down
up
doesn't
and down.
matter.
So that would be for up and down, yeah.
Yep.
So we were learning that through obviously making mistakes, and then he had the big ones too. But for around here, I have to tell you,
3 to 4 inch bait.
that small little 3-inch bait, the vibration that it had, and that one thing that I want to give them huge credit on, and I don't know what hooks they are. Those hooks were tiny, but man, those
Pretty
things
sure
were
they're VMCs.
laser sharp.
Pretty sure they're VMCs.
And that's the one thing that I can't stand about the Miradines is the hooks just aren't sharp enough. I've lost a lot of big snook on the
I think those are
Miradines.
Eagle Claw.
Yeah, they're Eagle Claw versus
Yeah, and I'm
VMCs.
95% sure that Nomad uses VMCs on all their stuff. And if it's not VMC, it's going to be owner.
Yeah, and I think when you go look at quality of hooks, and I'm not trying to knock Eagle Claw because they make some long shank hooks that are on my boat right now, so I'm not saying anything negative about that brand, but VMC, owner, those are the names to me.
Yeah, I mean, Kingfisher, we only use VMCs.
Yep.
Nothing else. It's got to be a
And-
4X, size 4.
Yep, and
No,
on,
I don't
on
care about that,
charters, for me, every inshore charter, the only hook that's on my boat is an owner hook.
Yeah.
And I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I pay,
I'm not either.
you know, because I'm here at the bait shop, I get them, but that's the only reason.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, those owner hooks are
And I'll
the
be
best
honest,
in
I
VMCs
mean, I
too.
use cheap Chinese hooks, and I don't care.
But you know what?
I can't bend them.
It works for you and you know what works.
Right.
So I like switched over. I had a couple of cheap Chinese hooks on the boat and I missed fish on them. And then I got frustrated and I said, no, I'm going back to what I do.
Yeah.
And there's just certain things you get used to as you fish more and more. And you know, and the one thing I will say about Eagle Claw is that this year, tarpon fishing, I had a trocar on the boat. and I put a trocar on, and it was the only time I've ever seen, and I mean, I'm sure I don't catch enough tarpon, so I'm sure some of you guys are like, yeah, I've seen that before. Full penetration with a 100-pound tarpon all the way through the lip. I've never seen that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so when I saw that, I was like, okay, well, I mean, I might
That one wasn't
buy into
getting
these
off.
trocars a little bit. He's not getting off. And I think there's actually a picture of the fish jumping, and you can see full penetration.
That's pretty cool.
And I'm like, yeah, that's great. So, not knocking Eagle Claw, but on some of those swim baits, or the hard baits, they need better hooks. So,
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, you know, we used to use SP minnows from Daiwa. We would literally take their treble hooks off and put VMCs on there.
yeah, right away.
All of them.
Yeah, and I think that's some of the things that I need to do with Mirrodines, because I lost, when I was fishing down in Port Charlotte, a lot of big snook on them, just pulling the hooks.
Yeah, just straighten them out.
Yeah, it gets disappointing. But that's kind of the fun of doing the artificial, is getting that explosion, like I said,
Yeah.
and then walking away from there.
I mean, I like artificial fishing.
Yeah.
You know, if I could do that more than live bait, I would.
Yeah.
I like for my own time.
Yeah,
If
for
I've
my
got
own time.
customers on the boat, we need to produce fish quickly.
We use
live bait's the
live
way to
bait
go.
or dead bait,
Or
and
dead
you're
bait.
golden.
You know, I mean, the artificial is more of a challenge. And I think that the challenge part of it, for me, is what makes it fun for me.
Because, and I hate to say this, and this is going to sound maybe a little cocky, but like for us, it's not always a challenge to go out and catch fish every day. We can go out and catch fish every day.
we can go out and catch
right?
fish every day.
Now-
Catching certain kind of fish
And a certain size,
way,
a certain way, that becomes
very hard.
Very hard. Yep. So like if it's blowing 25
20
out
knots
there
right
right now, and you say, Phil, go out there and catch a snook, I'm going to laugh at you. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to fail at it. You could spend 6 hours out there, and I'm probably not going to get one. Now, if you give me a nice tide and it's blowing wind and I can tuck in somewhere, I got a good chance.
Yeah.
But on a low tide like this, there's no way. So there are challenges that I appreciate, and that challenge is going out and throwing artificial, and getting a snook, a redfish to eat an artificial lure around here is always a win. And then take it a step further and go with a fly. That's when it gets really challenging.
Sissy stick.
Sissy stick. The fun stick. The stick that I'd rather be holding. Yeah, I think, for fun fishing, artificial all day. But when it comes to producing fish, you can't beat live bait.
No, I agree with that. I mean, for me, we use all dead bait 99% of the time, unless we're trolling. If I really need to produce some Spanish mackerel, I'm not gonna lie, I go to the hard baits.
Yeah.
So I'll go to a squid spoon, like a 2 or 3 inch squid spoon on like a number 1 or number 2 planer.
Any of those over there?
Yeah.
He's gonna grab one just to show you, but there's some times when we know for a fact you just grab the right spoon and you're gonna catch fish, and these are
So-
them.
There's 2 different spoons that we all use, and I'll show
Yes.
both of them. Now, I personally don't use king spoon.
Yeah.
I use drones, which is
Yeah, the
almost the
drones are
same
really
thing.
good.
This is a number 3, so it's essentially a 3-inch spoon. It's almost a 4-inch actually. It's a 350. What you do with these, you put them on a big leader, usually 50-pound or so you don't get bit off. And you just trolling these behind a planer board, about 25, 30 feet a leader, and that planer board's doing all the work, keeping it down a certain depth. My personal favorite, though, is the old Clark spoon. It's not a Clark spoon, it's a squid spoon, but I grew up calling it a Clark spoon because Clark was the company for the longest time. It is now made by Squid Spoon. So this is one of my favorite spoons to use. I would rather use this over any other spoon.
Yep.
Because I will catch Spanish kings, blue runners if I need them, lizardfish if I need them. So it's one of those things.
Oh yeah, we probably landed 15 lizard fish on artificial that day we were out too.
Good,
We
I
just
need
kept
them.
finding them. They were small. They weren't big.
I need them.
I know you do. I guess we can get the big tank running downstairs and start storing them for you. Yeah. He's like, yes, please. Anyway, so, when it comes to artificial versus live bait, I think it's all personal preference. But if you need to produce fish, live
I think from a
bait's
charter
the best way to go.
standpoint,
Yeah, that's
live
always,
bait,
it's always going
you
to
know.
be. I mean, unless you're like that guide in that area doing that thing. I mean, and you have the right client that can appreciate
Yeah, or at
doing
least
it.
in a nice way, know how to cast.
Yeah, so let's just tell a story now. So I had a client, it was probably 4 to 5 years ago, they called me up and they go, hey, we want to, we've been on plenty of charters before, we want to learn to catch a fish on artificial. And I go, I'm in, I'm so excited right now. I can't believe you called me. So I go, we rig up paddle tails, because paddle tail is the easiest thing to catch fish on around here. Jig head
and
paddle
it's
tail.
easy to throw.
Yep, it's easy to throw. Anybody can do it. 2 guys get on the boat, and let me just grab a rod back here, and I go, this isn't rigged up with a paddle tail, obviously. But I go, here's a rod, it's a spinning reel. If you got any questions, let me know. Go ahead and cast out, and I showed him how to retrieve it. I said, you want to cast out like this, and let it sink, and we're just going to kind of pick it up and pick up the slack, and we're just going to keep doing that until you get a hit, nice and slow. And they go, okay, sounds good. So I hand the guy the rod, and he goes, how does this thing work? Okay, I'm going to grab the line right here, we're going to open the bail up, and then we're going to throw it like this. And he goes, okay. So he casts out, lands 5 feet away. I'm like, interesting. So the next thing he does is go like this, and then tries to cast it like that. And then he's trying to reel it like this. And I go, sir, would you like me to switch the handle over to the other side? It'd be easier for you to reel, because I think that's what you were trying to accomplish. He goes, oh yeah, that'd be great. So I switch the handle back over, I hand him the rod back, and he goes, and I'm going, oh no.
Help me now.
Help me now. Save me, Lord. So I grabbed my rod, because I had my rod on the boat that day, because it was just the 2 of them. I cast out, hooked 3 trout, each one of them, let them reel them in. And then I was basically in my mind going, I'm done. Like, we can't do this. This isn't going to work. You're not going to catch anything. You guys can't hold a rod the right way, let alone catch fish. And saying you have been in charge before, I figured somebody had did their job to teach them that.
No.
So I was feeling a little defeated and frustrated, and then I decided to overcome that, and that was internally. I didn't show them that, obviously. And I said, all right, this is what we're doing. This is how you need to do it. And then ended up catching fish. And we ended up getting 3 or 4 keepers on paddle tails, which was great for them. And we won. But man,
it was a struggle to get there.
Struggle to get there. Yeah, it was a struggle. So that's my artificial lure story for charters. Let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about the business side of fishing. What does it take to run a charter?
Start as a billionaire, end as a millionaire.
That's the only way to become rich at fishing. To become a millionaire at fishing is to start as a billionaire and end as a millionaire.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
And I'm not gonna lie. So I worked as a deckhand for a long time, and I went and got my license. And I worked for a couple of people, and now I have the opportunity to run the one that I'm running now. And I'm doing most of the business end of the things, except for the tax stuff, because that's way out of my purview. That's a keyword of the day.
That's a big word. Purview.
But I mean, there's way more involved than I actually thought there was.
Yeah.
You know, between them having to schedule your maintenance around your charters, keeping up with your tackle. You know, it's stuff that I've done on a normal basis, but it's usually,
Yeah. Hey, go.
Can you go pick this up for me? Or hey, take this business card, go put fuel on the boat. Okay, yeah, no problem.
Okay,
How
yeah.
much fuel? Just fill it. Okay. I didn't realize like how much fuel you really burn until you start to do the math.
And you watch that bank account, and it's like, you know, if I'm running a double and this is inshore, every morning at the pump, it's $100. If it's just a single, it's $50 for me. That's what I put in the boat. That's like my starting point. There's some days I spend more. There's some days I spend less. And it's like, starting a charter from scratch is the hardest thing to do. I think it's one of the hardest things.
I mean, that's what we did. We started from absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You know, we started with a name, we found a boat, we found, permits and all that other stuff. And
Yeah.
I watched my business account go, whew,
Yep.
today, because we had to renew our permits for the coming year, for next year, for our federal permits.
And it's like, you talk about what clients see as what I call the best 4 hours of the business.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a 4-hour trip, it's the best 4 hours of business. What they didn't see was yesterday, me towing my boat back to my house to Buffett, the truck breaking down, having to call a buddy to tow the boat back to the storage unit, getting a ride and getting the truck over to the dealership, and then getting a new truck today, but yet going back to the boat today to do the buffing that I was going to do, and only getting halfway done. I mean, that was my last 2 days.
Yeah.
Did I get paid a penny for doing that?
No, you didn't.
No.
And that's what a lot of people don't see, is they don't see how much time we really put into it. Like, I know my wife gets really mad at me because when I first got our boat, I spent 4 nights, 6 hours a night, so 24 hours, essentially, wet sanding the entire outside of my boat from 8 o'clock at night to 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
4 nights in a row.
Yeah.
You can still see the outline of my boat on my road.
All the powder.
Oh, it's bad.
The fiberglass is falling off.
All the gel coat that I was
Yeah.
standing off to get all the oxidation off, because
Yeah.
the last guy didn't take super well care of it.
I think it's just one of those things where it's all the little things that people never see
Oh, yeah.
that add up. I mean, like, I'm still in need of a new main battery for my boat.
Yeah, you are.
And I'm still running it with one half-dead battery and one good battery.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly ideal, but I'll get to buying another one when the business comes back around,
Yeah.
because this time of year, we're not busy, so I'm not spending a lot of money. So it's like how you manage your money throughout the year is a huge deal.
Yeah, that's like right now, I'm not doing a whole lot. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of trips going on, and I know you don't either, because it's slow season for
Slow
us.
season, yeah.
I rewired, when I got the boat, I rewired the whole back of that panel.
Mm-hmm.
All my wiring is good now. All my batteries are good, but I'm due for more maintenance, and I'm like, I got to do the maintenance. Luckily, I have a backstock from, when you buy a certain amount of oil, which I'm sure you do with Yamaha too. So you get it, you buy 7 quarts, you use 5.5 or 6. You're like, oh, I got an extra.
Extra quart, yep.
So I've done enough to have a back stock, but it's like, I got to do it, but I'm not
always
making
something.
money, so I don't want to do it and then waste more time when I could personally go make money elsewhere to keep myself afloat
Yeah.
while the business isn't making any money.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, I always say the washout rate in charters is through the roof. And I mean, I watch people not make it every year. Every year.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been doing this, like, I'm not one of the 20-year guys. I'm only on 7 going on 8 here. But I can tell you out of this boat ramp, the washout rate's through the roof. Since I started, there's 3 guys that were out of this ramp, me and 2 others, that are still here. And the rest of them are all gone.
Who is it?
Marlon
Okay.
and Evan, who has no trips right now. I mean, Evan hasn't been out. I haven't seen him out
I
other
haven't
than
seen him
fun
out in a while.
fishing in a couple months.
Yeah.
But he usually picks up a second job this time of year, and
Yeah,
that's super
what
smart.
I do as well.
Yeah, and I don't. I just save. I make a lot of money in the first part of the year, save all of it, and then now it's like,
Shell it out.
yep. And I don't like it, but
No.
that's a part of life as a charter captain.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but if my kids were bigger,
Mm-hmm.
I would definitely have more money.
Well,
I lose a lot of money to my kids.
when you
for
have
a
little
lot of
kids,
stuff. Yeah.
it's really, really difficult. Like, I'm fortunate to have a 16-and-a-half-year-old now. He's almost 17. That has a job that I make him work and pay his own bills.
Yeah.
Now, he's already been in debt like every single other week because he spends more than he makes, but he's learning at this point with a safety net. So, it's how we manage all that. I mean, just him having a job here saved me $1,000 a month. It's like, it's a lifesaver.
I mean, people don't realize too. It's like, okay, so yeah, the business made $100,000 a year. That's fine. That's all well and dandy.
It's not
now
what you're
take
taking
out
home.
$20,000 in fuel for the year.
Yep.
$10,000 in bait. $10,000 in tackle. Now we're down to
Ice,
70. Now you got to take out
maintenance.
insurance.
Yeah.
Maintenance, ice,
Like, I have
storage.
2 different insurances on my boat. That's just how we run, like how I run. I run extra on everything, and I like to use nice gear. So when my shit breaks, it's big money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have some deals, which is nice, but if you're going into the business and you don't have deals set up where you're going to get something either at cost or below cost or for free, I mean, bro, it's
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I'm not
just shelling it out.
I mean, I did a lot of bartering for a lot of stuff on my boat.
I will tell you one thing though, and this can be like a saving grace, is if you take the time to set the right relationships up, like you see me always wearing Sims, that's because I get them at like a huge discount or whatever. And it's I only buy things that I get at a discount most of the time. But the, oh God, what was I gonna say? Oh, the beautiful part about a charter business though, honestly, are the tax write-offs.
Yeah.
So I will say that's a really great
There's
thing.
a lot of stuff that
If I
you
need
can
a new
actually
pair of
tax write off.
sunglasses, it's a write-off.
Yeah,
If I need
like
a new
I
pair
got
of
new
shoes,
boots the other day.
Yeah, new boots.
Like,
Yeah, it's a
a
write-off.
write-off.
There's a ton of write-offs that you can use for your business
Bless you. Bless you.
and in your everyday life that really help you out. I mean, my cell phone is my business phone, but it has my personal line too. I have 2 lines that go to one phone. So for me, it's like, there's different things that do save you some money. However, on paper, I look poor as hell.
Yep, me too.
It's like, I make good money, but I look poor as
Yeah,
hell.
no, I agree.
I mean, I think it's all just kind of how you look at things, and can you manage your finances appropriately to take care of yourself and your family. But nobody in the charter business is getting rich off of running charters.
No, running up there, you talk to a couple owners, and they're like, look, at the end of the year, if the business is up 10 grand after everything's said
That's
and
a
done,
win.
that's awesome.
A huge win.
It's not a big margin, but if you're up 10K, that's okay.
Yeah, and people see the dollar
Because
amounts.
everything is paid.
It's all paid. That's what that means.
Right.
People see like the prices that we charge on trips, like, oh my God, how many trips do you run a year? And I tell them, they're like, well, you're making great money. I'm like, yeah, let's start doing some math here and let's figure that out.
Yeah, take about
Boat,
70%
motor.
away.
Yeah. Oh, did I mention I put a brand new engine on my boat this year for $27,000? Like, oh. And then all of a sudden, they
That's
just
like
wash
next year.
away.
I'm probably gonna need new
you
motors
need 3
next
motors next year.
year. Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
All my quotes are like 60 to 70,000.
yeah. So, I mean, where does that money come from?
My ass.
Yeah, I know. You gotta find it. So I just always say, if you're gonna get in the charter business, you have to do it for the love of the game.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you have to do it because, for me, and this has always been my reason is that I want to give people an experience they won't forget.
Yeah, it's like I tell everybody, I'm not in the business of making money. I'm in the business to show you a good time.
Yep. And I think for people that want to get into it, if that's you or this is you and you can think that way and you truly, truly believe it with your heart, I think you can make it.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're doing this for dollar amounts or because you think you're the best fisherman in the world, you will fail. I'm not going to name a name, but I saw somebody on the internet, a pretty well-known dude, just get his captain's license, and he catches some of the biggest fish around, and it's a little bit different area, not here. And I was watching him post his rates, and I was appalled at how low he was charging. For somebody that has the talent to do that, he's going into the business because he thinks he's the best fisherman, and you can see it. It's written all over the place. People that do this for clout, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever, and there's one person on this ramp that does it for that, and nobody else respects him because of that. And I don't like it, and I don't think any of us really do at the end of the day. So it's not, when you make it more about, how many followers do I have? Oh, check out, I have 10 redfish on my deck on my boat. That's when things don't go well. When you do it for the love of giving people that experience and it comes from your heart, they know it, the reviews show it, and you end up winning.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, so that's my 2 cents on the charter business. What else would you like to add about it?
That's all I got.
That's about all I got.
Everything you said is pretty much where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
So.
It's not easy, and
No,
I mean,
it's definitely not easy, and it's a lot more work than people think it is. You know,
it is. And Beller Bait and Tackle here, I own the tackle shop. It's not a secret or anything, but this business doesn't make any money.
No, I mean,
but
anything related besides fixing boats
yeah,
doesn't really
fixing
make
boats
money.
the only thing that really makes money. But when it comes to like all this fishing stuff, there's no money here, but it does different things, right? So one of my great friends and I, we own it, Rory and I, and he's secure in his job because we own the shop.
Yeah.
And I feel great that I'm able to make sure that the finances are good enough for that. My son works here. That saves me money. That saves me money every month. I don't have to pay for nothing because of him.
No car, no rent.
No car, no rent, no nothing,
insurance.
because he works here. It's all taken care of. And we get discounts on our products, I do. And I don't have to really pay for a whole lot of stuff. It's all at cost. So for me, it feeds and funnels that business. That's my drive. That's how I put food on the table.
Then you have a backing to help
Now I have a
push it.
backing to do that. And
Yeah.
I think that if you can finagle things in your life to get there, you got a solid chance. But I mean, just the people that just leave this business, it's insane to me.
Oh yeah, I mean I've seen a few come and go already.
Yeah, and you've only been out here doing this.
I've been here 5 years now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you've seen a lot then.
I've seen 3
you
come
were
and go
always
already.
on like the bigger stuff.
Yeah.
And then you come to like the world of offshore fishing, like private offshore charters, not bigger groups, and you get around the inshore guys like me, because we didn't even know each other.
I've seen 3 different charters change hands up in Clearwater Beach.
Oh yeah. And it's like, but it's happening and it happens all the time. And I don't know, man. It's if you want to do it, you want to make sure that you're in an area that can support it. So when we say that, I mean, Florida, there's not that many. It's Panama City Beach and Destin. You both stand a chance there. You stand a chance over maybe in Stewart, maybe part of the year. Clearwater Beach, obviously there's enough of us here. Miami/Florida Keys. And I don't know, maybe Jacksonville, maybe.
I don't know what Jacksonville.
I think there's a few.
I think so.
But unless you're in a top tourist destination or you're the best freaking fly fisherman on tarpon in the entire world, you're not going to make it, man.
I agree.
And I even tried leaving this area, and I didn't make it, and I came back. So, I don't know. I think that's the whole key, is finding a place where people love to go visit, people want to come back, and doing your job the right way and making sure you got a ton of good reviews. So, that's my 2 cents on the charter business.
Good for me.
Okay, fair enough.
So.
Guys, we're going to keep it short tonight. That's going to be all for the show, unless Captain Bob has anything to add.
Nope.
Okay, well, we're back. So we did take a couple weeks off.
One thing,
Yeah.
we got King of the Beach next week.
Yes,
It's the largest
November
kingfish.
8th?
November 6th, 7th, and 8th.
6th, 7th, 8th.
Thursday is the captain's meeting. Friday is I think it's the kids tournament or something like that, and dinner. And then Saturday is the day you fish, and then I think Sunday they do awards or something like that, or Saturday night after
Saturday
the
night,
weigh-in.
yeah.
We're fishing it. Team Fish Thinking. Hopefully we can get
I'm
it going.
not.
You're
I'm going to
not.
be working, making money. I'm already booked.
Yeah. Well, I'm booked for Sunday, so
There you go.
that should work out as long as the weather holds true. Because you never know, King of the Beach is notorious
For being the worst
shit weather.
ever. All the time.
Yep. Did you know
Yeah.
the spring was the first nice spring they had in like 8 years?
Yeah, I know. That's why I kind of stopped fishing on those tournaments. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm done
so-
being beat up for 24 hours straight.
But
12 hours straight.
that's about all I got. So
Thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll see you next week.